Yo, BeBall Jones back again. Another good episode coming for you, man. BeBall Jones podcast with Nelson Haskin. How you doing, Nelson?
I'm good, bro. How about yourself?
Uh, I'm all right, man. Just trying to survive this summertime. It's really awkward basketball wise, but I'm good, man. Trying to survive it. So, let's get straight into it, man. This is a interesting one to get into, man. Summertime. This is one of those years where we have the Olympic team going on. We have our Team USA men's basketball going out there. As we're recording this right now, we got USA versus Spain going on. Gasol brothers and Ricky Rubio and all the other fellas we got from NBA teams playing out there. Um, as we stand right now, we are 1-2 in our games right now. We lost our first two games and we won our third, and hopefully we can pull this win off tonight. But it's something we've never been into, like not like this, not of late. We never lost back-to-back games. We're not used to USA basketball on the men's side being at this level. You feel me? So I'm just wondering, man, is this the end of our dominance as we stand as USA basketball? Because we've known this for years. It's not a surprise, but the word's been creeping up to us. The world, as far as their skill level, has been creeping up. Their exposure to us and how USA and Americans play basketball and our talent and our athleticism and everything, they've been slowly catching up to us. We've been seeing a lot of foreign guys come over, and they really shocked the leagues. You look at the Kristaps Porzingis, you look at the Luka Doncic, you look at the Giannis's, you look at all the other guys we got, like Joel Embiid,
Nikola Jokic.
Nikola. Like, we have a lot of foreign guys coming over and putting a solid imprint into the league. So I just got to ask, man, is this the end of our dominance, man? Like, are we going to see Team USA blowing out by 30, 40, 50 points again? Or is that time, gone? Is that past? So can you answer that for me, my brother? Is this the end of our dominance of USA basketball?
Well, I mean, to be real, we haven't really been. If we using dominant, we really haven't been dominant the past few times around. Because it's not like we just cakewalk to the gold medal every year or every 4 years. Because we lost it. We got the bronze in 2004.
Yep.
And then 2008, we got the gold. In 2012, we got the gold. But I remember the gold medal game. They, I won't say they won by like 3. Like, it was some close games. And a lot of those games during that run were close. Like, they almost lost several games. So it's not like we just been destroying the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Greg Popovich said it. Hopefully we can put the video in here, but that y'all will know before I know. So hopefully we can get the video in from Pop in a press conference the other day where a reporter was talking to Damian Lillard, saying how does it feel, basically asking how does it feel to watch Team USA be dominant, struggling. And Pop is like, we've never dominated the rest of the world, and stop saying that because it's disrespectful to the other teams. Like, he said the good teams have never gotten blown out. Like, do some teams get blown out? Yes, but the good teams do not get blown out, and y'all need to stop saying that because it's disrespectful to the teams that we play against.
Joe Varden from The Athletic. Damian, I know that Coach has been preaching this about how much better the rest of the world has gotten over the years. But in this being your first Team USA experience in the Olympics and that sort of thing, what's it like for you to having watched your colleagues go through some of these tournaments and blow these teams out, and now you are kind of experiencing a much different, much closer, tougher experience?
Good. You're done. Let me also answer that question. You asked the same sort of question, the same family of question last time, where you assume things that are not true. When you just mentioned, blowing these teams out, that's never happened. So I don't know where you get that. When you make statements about in the past just blowing out these other teams, number one, you give no respect to the other teams. And I talked to you last time about the same thing. We've had very close games against 4 or 5 countries in all these tournaments. So the good teams do not get blown out. There are certain games that might happen in one of the tournaments in the World Championship, the Olympics, where somebody gets blown out. But in general, nobody's blowing anybody out for the good teams. So when you make a statement like that, it's like you assume that's what's going on. And that's incorrect.
And to a certain extent, I kind of feel them because some of those teams are good. Like you said, the world is like getting better. Like the Luka Doncic's and the Nikola Jokic's world, they out there. And like, of course, they're not on the level of those two, maybe. But if I got a team full of players half as good as Luka Doncic, we got a pretty good team. So like I kind of feel like we haven't been dominant in a long time. So we confused, like we get those, we kind of misconstrued that for like us just killing everybody, but it wasn't really like that. And like the Dream Team, yes, they killed everybody, and we know that. But ever since then, like that's been 20 years ago. So 25 now. So the world is not what it was. The Dream Team introduced basketball to a lot of different countries, and so now we really paying the price for that. So, but yeah, I guess in a sense, yeah, I can say our dominance is somewhat over, but we haven't been dominant in a sense for quite a while. So, what you think?
So the Dream Team was almost 30 years ago. That's crazy.
Yeah,
But, that's crazy. But I feel like I somewhat agree. I agree for sure with Pop saying that you gotta stop disrespecting the other countries and saying that basically trying to just say that they're not that good. I agree with that for sure. And you gotta think about it, like you get teams like Spain, you have like 4 or 5 guys in there that played or still play on the NBA roster. You got the Gasol brothers, you got Ricky Rubio, you got Rudy Fernandez. You have a lot of guys that are playing NBA minutes, like solid NBA minutes, that starters on the NBA team. Right. And they're going back to their country playing for those teams. You got Luka playing for his home team. Like most of the guys are playing for the home team, the home countries. All right. Speaking of teams, Canada's like, I think legit half of their roster are NBA guys. You know, like they just missed the qualifier to be in the Olympics. But a lot of those, like Team Canada's a really good team. If they get another year or two together and they're able to grow, like you got Wiggins, Jamal Murray,
RJ Barrett.
You got the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and his brother. Both of them pretty cold. So there's a lot more guys who got on the team, but there's a lot of Canadian guys who are on NBA rosters. So the world is really catching up to us. But at the same time, just looking inside, like looking at it in a mirror, if we're being completely honest, like for real honest, we're not even putting our AA level talent out there. Like we haven't had our top guys out there in years now. You know?
Definitely.
To throw like the quick little history around there for people who may not know. Of course, the Dream Team was '92 team. They finally put their foot down. It's like, yo, we finna like stop playing around. We're gonna send our pro guys. Before they were sending college guys. So we finally that's the first step we took to put our professional level players out there. So we took the top dogs that we had, like the all-stars of all-stars, and put them on the team, minus Christian Laettner, he don't count. But you put the all-stars of all-stars, the superstars of our league, and put them on the team together. Went out there, handled business, got gold. The '96 team was basically the same thing, but we had the cream of the crop of our league playing in '96. All to 2000 team was a pretty decent squad. They were a little bit younger. The '04 team was a disappointment for different reasons. They say they had bad coaching mix for the players they had. So the players and coaching weren't mixing well. So it was like a huge issue with that. And the team construction wasn't that well built anyway. So that led to us getting bronze. And after that was a slap in the face. And they were like, yo, we can't have this again. So we're going to have to restructure our whole deal. That's when Jared Colangelo came in. And Coach K came in. They said they really restructured everything to make it not just all right, it's summertime, we're going to pick some guys and pick a coach and come out there. They really had a structure set in place to where it's more of an organization rather than just a team coming together. This ain't just like summer league, pick up a couple guys and a coach and you're going to go out there and run. It really made it a structured deal to where you're committed to this organization, this program to play for X amount of years. I forgot how long it is, but so after that, the '08 team was labeled the Redeem team, to redeem us from the '04 squad. That's when we kind of went like dream team route, and we pulled out our big guys. We had LeBron, Kobe, Wade, Melo, Booz, Chris Bosh. I think Dwight Howard was on that team. Like we had Michael Redd was on that team. We had a really good squad, but most people don't know who Boozer is now. We don't know who. Average fan doesn't know who those guys are. So were they a really good team? Yes, but were they compared to the Dream Team or the '96 team? Top wise, yes. Like the top half, we're top heavy, yes. But the bottom half of it, we start getting smoked. The bench part, we're getting smoked. So,
but if that team, like, if we could, like, turn the clock and make everybody on that team in their prime, like the Dream Team would, like, I feel like everybody in the Dream Team was in their prime, except for Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. I feel like everybody else was like prime time, whatever.
Yeah.
And so, with the exception of them two, everybody like on that team was exactly the right age to be killing. They all in their dominance. But if we could make everybody on the 2012.
No. '08 was the Redeem team, and 12 was just a team. I don't even remember if they had a name, but '08 was the Redeem team, and then 12 was, the Young Bucks. They had Westbrook, D Rose, Harden, Anthony Davis, that whole squad. So,
I love that 2012 team. I remember them being on 2K, and I used to be getting them. And I used to tell my brother, get the All-Stars, and I get the Team USA. But
yeah.
All right, let's just take a look at it. 2008, we had Carmelo Anthony. He was about prime time Melo, 2008. Bosh was prime Bosh. Boozer was prime. Kobe Bryant was about prime 2008. Yeah, Kobe was still prime.
Mm-hmm.
Dwight was prime. Bron was, I wouldn't even say that was Bron's prime, but he was Bron. It was still good. He was still a little young. Jason Kidd, Chris Paul.
Not about your kid.
Yeah, Chris Paul was young. Tayshaun Prince, Michael Redd, like you said, Dwayne Wade prime, Darren Williams prime. Yeah, that team up there. But I ain't gonna lie, the 2012 team, I ain't gonna lie. Give me the 2012 team over everybody.
They just
weren't in their primes.
Yeah, we talked about this before we recorded, but it's like that team. Go ahead and pull up the roster while I'm saying this, but it's like that team. All right, so I was like, that team is like nastily, like it's nasty, bro. So go ahead and read it off to me, man. That team's nasty.
We got Tyson Chandler, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Darren Williams, Andre Iguodala, Kobe, Kevin Love, James Harden, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony. And but the thing about it, everybody on these teams were not in primes at the time they went in. Like Anthony Davis was 19, Kobe was 33, Russ was 23, KD was 23, James Harden was 22, Kevin Love was 23. So they were still young. But if we could make everybody on this team prime, oh my goodness, because LeBron was in his prime. And Darren Williams was in his prime. Andre Iguodala, I say, was in his prime. Chris Paul was Chris Paul was 27. He was in his prime. Melo was in his prime. So they were still pretty, top heavy, like you said.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who exactly started, but I'm pretty sure the starting lineup was Chris Paul, Kobe, LeBron, Melo, and Tyson Chandler. I think that was the starting lineup.
Pretty sure.
And so that starting lineup still, go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You got Chris Paul and LeBron that can facilitate. You got Kobe and Melo that can score the ball on anybody. And you got Tyson Chandler to hold down your defense. And you got guys like LeBron and Kobe who still gonna lock up when they feel like it. So, and then you got KD coming off the bench. You got James Harden coming off the bench. You got Anthony Davis coming off the bench. That, give me them over the Dream Team if they was all in their prime. But, for the time that they was in, the Dream Team was definitely better.
The reason I would probably still go Dream Team is because when you go to the bench, like minus Christian Laettner, like he's almost relevant. No disrespect to him. College-wise, he's a great player. But he did not deserve to be on that last spot. Like, that's a whole other conversation. But anyway, the dream team was literally full of superstars. Like when we talked about the league's best players, we literally had the league's best players in that squad. Like we talking about all-time greats. Like to this day, you still have a conversation of I'm gonna go on blank right now. Charles Barkley, one of the all-time greatest power forwards. He's top 5. Talking about Robinson, he's one of the top 5 centers of all time. You're talking about Ewing, top centers of all time. Jordan, Bird, Magic. Mullen's one of the best wings and shooters of all time. So like you go down there, Stockton, one of the top point guards of all time. So you start going down this roster, Clyde Drexler, arguably the next best shooting guard of that generation. So you start going down this roster of players, it's like all-time great, not just greats, not just play greats in this time or that generation, it's all-time greats. So you have 11 guys who were all Hall of Famers, all guys who were like carrying their teams, Stockton and Malone. Like we still talk about these guys to this day. And it's like those guys are the guys. Like they're like you go back to the regular teams, they're the number one guy on their team. Now you look at from top to bottom, from 1 to 11. It's not like it's just a solid role player. It's like 1 through 11 is the guy. So now you go to the either 08 or 2012 team, you don't have a roster full of that. Like Tyson Chandler was a starter. I forgot who our starter was for the Dream Team. It might have been Robinson.
I think it was Dave Robinson. I think Starliner was Magic, Jordan, Bird, Barkley.
Oh, Pippen. I forgot about Pippen. Pippen was.
Oh, did Pip start?
I'm pretty sure he started. I don't even think Bird played.
Bird started.
I don't think Bird played because he had the back issue. He didn't play for real. I'm pretty sure it was Magic, Jordan, Pip, Barkley, and Dave Robinson. You're looking at that 5, like even Pippen. Pippen was like you remember that year when Jordan went out and Pippen was the guy. He was still terrorizing the league as being number 1 option. So
right,
you're looking at like a team full of that versus, and it's like the thing about that team, they had guys diminishing their roles. So, Ewing was used to being, all right, give me the ball on the block, I'm gonna do my work, and then on the other end, I'm blocking everything I can get. They basically said him and Dave Robson's like, yo, offensively, we don't need all that as much. We just need you to kind of be cleanup guys. I don't know for sure, but they basically diminished their roles to where we need to do all 5 things. We need to do 2 or 3 of them. Probably just 1 of them. Just play great defense on the other end, get rebounds. And on the other end, we'll feed you off, little stuff here and there. But as far as like being this great superstar, no, like Jordan, we ain't got to go off for 30. Like Jordan wasn't even leading scorer for that team. That was Barkley.
Right, which is shocking to me.
Like D-Wade was the leading scorer for that 08 team. So it's like you thinking about who would be the leading scorer. It's like, nah. Jordan said, I'm locking up. I don't care about scoring. Pippen said, I'm locking up. So you have guys who are the top dogs in the team doing 5 things for the NBA team, saying, you know what, I'm not going to score this game. I'm not going to focus on rebounding. I'm going to just play great defense, facilitate, and hustle points. So,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
And so you look at that versus the 08, 12, and whatever teams going forward, you're not having the same thing. Not as much, not from top to bottom. You're having the top guys, of course. You're saying, all right, LeBron, we need to score 30. We need to score 15 and just play great defense. All right, I got 10 times more energy now.
All right.
Now you're looking at Tyson Chandler to where, whatever you did in the NBA, go ahead and do that over here. Defensive rebounding. That's all he did. Same thing to USA basketball. Andre Iguodala, same thing. He just transferred over. So it's not like you asking, what's a good comparison? It's not like you asking Dwight Howard to diminish his role, say, we only just scoring 30, score 10 and give us 20 rebounds still. You're not asking Anthony Davis, if Anthony Davis was prime, we only just score that much, just basically be who you were in college. You know what I mean? You're not asking the superstar to diminish their role. And it's this different thing. So that's why I say, number one, that but the 96 team is probably the best team out there, period. And so with that leads me to my other point to where I say we haven't thrown out our best guys since probably 96. We haven't thrown out our best guys from top to bottom. So
Yeah, I think I could agree with that.
So that's kind of where I am with that. So in the world catching up for sure, but at the same time, are we putting our best foot forward every summer or every Olympic run? Not really.
Yeah, and when you was talking, that kind of reminded me of the Coach K story. I heard Coach K tell the story about Kobe. Said they play Argentina, and Manu Ginobili was on the other team. And this is the year the Spurs that beat the Lakers in the playoffs. I want to say in the Western Conference Finals. And maybe this was 2012 when they went on to lose to the Heat, or was it 20? Yeah, it had to have been 2012, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, the Spurs had beaten the Lakers in the playoffs that year. Mm-hmm. So they play Argentina, and Kobe locked in on Manu Ginobili. He trying to lock up Manu. And Manu guard him. So he not only trying to lock up Manu, he trying to kill him on he just trying to, on some like Kobe stuff. He trying to kill him. Yeah. So he going crazy. He said Manu turns his ankle or something like that. Comes out the game like halfway through the third quarter, something like that. And he said before Manu came out the game, they was up like 16, 18. Said when Manu got hurt and went out, they instantly came back. He said they came back because Kobe, he lost interest. He had no interest in it. And I feel like that's what a lot of the best players did. Like a lot of the best players out here, like proving a point to somebody, like, or, on their own type of fun, whatever is fun to them. Like, I feel like they out there like, hey, I'm gonna try to do this today. Cause that's where all the like highlights come from. Like, you see the highlights of like the team. If you ever watch old Team USA highlights, they like LeBron smacking somebody's stuff like out of bounds. He like spiking it. Like they jump off the ground and it bounce off and past the rim and everything. Like it be some crazy stuff. Yeah, like even back to like the 92 Dream Team. I remember there's a clip of Scottie Pippen on a 2-on-1 break. And somebody on his left side, he throw the ball under his arm, like you know how you like throw a ball like this under your arm. I know people can't see me, but he like throw the ball up under his arm. Put the clip in here. I can find it and send it to you.
I'll probably find the clip.
Man, we're gonna put the clip in. But he like throw the ball under his arm back to himself and catch it in the air and dunk it. I'm like, man, you ain't never did that in no regular game. Yeah. I feel like that's what like the top tier players are doing. Like when we send them. Like the LeBrons and the Michael Jordans and the Scottie Pippens of the world, yeah. They go over there. It's kind of like first off, they ain't getting the same amount of attention as they normally would have in a regular game. They're not getting guarded by the best guard, like the best defensive player every night out. Because if I'm LeBron, they probably putting their best defensive player on Kobe on them 2012 teams. So that's what I would assume at least. Mm-hmm. So he ain't getting the same kind of pressure. So now it's like, oh man, watch this. I'm finna throw the ball on the bad boy, catch it with my left hand type stuff. So that's just me though. I feel like that's what they're out there doing. Like they just be having fun. But then we don't send our best guys. Now they out there like trying to get off. Like they really need to they really go. Yeah. Like I feel like Bron and them was out there like chilling. Endo like 17, win the game. I feel like, no offense to like Jason Tatum and them, but I feel like, well, probably not the starters on that team, like the starters that before Brad Beal got put out or left. I ain't gonna say put out. That's a negative connotation. But the starting lineup before was we was just talking about it.
Dane.
I know they had Dane. Yeah, I can't remember the point guard. Dane, Brad Beal, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Bam Adebayo. That was the original star lineup for this year. And that's a great star lineup. So I'm pretty sure they've been, straight. But the guys on the bench, Keldon Johnson, who they just added, I'm sure he out there like really trying to get off. Like, no disrespect, but he probably really like hooping. I feel like Kevin Durant and them out there chilling.
That shouldn't be that funny, but it is. I'm sorry, man.
I feel like Keldon out there like countering, like bah, 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 bah. Passing the ball to KD like I can't get open.
That boy struggling.
Man, he probably I just like, dang, these boy tough. I thought we were gonna come out here and just kill some.
Oh man, that shouldn't be that funny, but it is. No disrespect,
Man.
not at all. We know
No
he can hoop.
disrespect.
We know he can hoop, bro. Like we're not trying to say he can't at all. We understand.
Hey, I ain't in the Olympics, so hey.
Hey, I'm at home watching y'all, bro, so I can't talk too much, man. I'm quick to say that, but at the same time, you know, we had this conversation before about people talking trash about NBA players and they can't hoop. Just in context, we're talking about that level of caliber players. You know, Keldon's struggling, bro. He is not Kevin Durant. He's not Jason Tatum. He's Keldon.
He's Keldon Johnson.
But no disrespect, you know. Anyway, like you were saying, just fast forwarding this year, man. Like we don't have that level of talent. Like, so looking at the roster that we have as of this date, of this podcast coming out, we have Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Jeremiah Grant, Draymond Green, Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, Keldon Johnson, Zach LaVine, JaVale McGee, Chris Middleton, and Bam Adebayo. So, like I said before, when you look at the old school teams from 92 and 96, cream of the crop guys, they were the number one and number two guys on the team. Dame fits that criteria. He's the number one guy on his team. Tatum fits that criteria. He's a little bit young. KD fits that criteria. Jeremiah Grant, role player. On an actual winning team, role player. Draymond Green, top three guy, sometimes four guy on his winning teams. Booker is the guy, but he's just young.
Still in the finals.
Yeah, still in the finals too.
Booker's
Drew Holiday, third best guy on an actual winning team, still playing, so he's not in there right now. Keldon Johnson. We just kind of explained that, so maybe to get into that. Zach LaVine's number one guy. But at the same time, Zach LaVine is he a top 5 shooting guard? For real, for real?
No.
Is he top 10?
Yeah. I give him top 10.
So we can pick him. I'll come back to him. JaVale McGee. Come on now. JaVale McGee. I ain't forgetting that. Chris Middleton. He's earned respect over these finals. I give him that.
He is. Definitely.
But no.
We won more good Chris Middleton game from a championship. We'll go ahead.
Yes. That's another conversation. But Team USA caliber basketball, no disrespect. I'm taking Paul George over him. I'm taking Bradley Beal over him. There's a lot of players I'm taking before I get to Chris Middleton. No disrespect. And Bam Adebayo. Not a bad pick at all.
Good for his role. Good for the role he's gonna be.
Yes. So that's the thing I want to get back to. Like we have a lot of role players out the gate. Like it's just like role players, point blank, period. Like you're a role player for NBA, you're a role player for Team USA, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because the 08 team had that. You know, we had, like you said, Tayshaun Prince, who was he might have been, what was it for that Pistons team? Maybe the fourth option, maybe fifth. Yeah, he probably had to be the fourth option because Ben Wallace was the fifth option. So the fourth option on that Pistons team, and basically said, "Oh, all I'll do is play defense, get hustle points for the most part." Same thing he did for Team USA, just defense mainly and hustle points. So we're not really putting our best foot forward for Team USA basketball, and people like to throw the foreign teams have been together for so many years, they know each other. Yes, it's understandable, but y'all weren't crying about that in 2008. We weren't crying about that in 2012, so I don't want to hear that as an excuse now. Like, be consistent with it. So my thing is, I feel like the world is catching up to us. It's like we're here and we're slowly taking steps down because we don't have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Dame Lillard out there as our guards. We don't have Kyrie out there as our guards. We're not having LeBron James, KD, Kawhi Leonard as our forwards. We don't have Anthony Davis. Even Boogie back in the day, he would have been a dominant big.
Thanks.
What was an American big that we had?
You talking about back in the day?
Even now,
right
like, period.
Well, Boogie, I still throw Boogie in there. Anthony Davis, like you said. I throw Julius Randle in there.
He's in discussion.
Yeah.
I throw Bam in there for sure. He's in the conversation. Drummond, he was on the team a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, Andre Drummond.
But
A lot
the
of
point
bigs
is,
right now foreign.
you know what I'm saying? Like the point is, we're not even throwing our best. Like, for example, look at the All-Star team from this past year, and tell me how many of those guys are actually playing on the team now. Very small.
Hardly any of them, really.
Exactly.
But some of them are also foreign, but still.
Even like strictly American players, we're not having our top guys go out there right now, man. Like I just went off the list. Drew Holiday, no offense, he's probably not a top 10 point guard. Zach LaVine is a top 10 two guard, but he's not the cream of the crop that we usually send out. No disrespect. I love Zach LaVine, but he's not what we send out usually. Bradley Beal, Dwayne Wade back in the day, James Harden, what we send out. Westbrook is what we send out. D Rose is what we'll send out. You know what I mean? Like superstars. Like LaVine is on his way to becoming a superstar, but he's not in that caliber in that lane yet. I feel like he's definitely not a bad pick, but there are a few guys I'm calling before I get Zach LaVine. You feel me?
Thanks.
So it's no. I love Zach LaVine. I'm trying not to be disrespectful to him at all, but it's just a different. It's different tiers too. He's not in that tier that we used to see if he was at basketball. But I really feel like the Team USA overall, man, we're just not really putting our number one guys out there. And I remember a couple of years ago, it might have been last Olympics. We said, or we started as a country saying we could roll out our second level guys or maybe our third level guys. We did that and we almost got beat. Then we came back and was like, yo, maybe we can't send our it had to be 16. We sent out a couple guys and it weren't the usual guys we used to have it. Or maybe it was the World Cup team. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was the World Cup. It was the World Cup. It had to be the World Cup. We threw out a couple guys and then one of the usual suspects, the guys we had. We were looking like, we ain't really looking too shabby right here. When I think we lost or almost lost. That was our first loss we had in X amount of years since the 08, deal we had. They finally looked up and was like, yo, I don't know if we can do this anymore.
Send the best of the best.
Yep. Here we come back Olympics 2021, which should have been 2020, but due to obvious circumstances, we couldn't play last year. But we came back and we didn't really put our best foot forward, which is due still to the COVID situation, Corona situation, because the NBA season is so condensed to where
a lot of
condensed
guys
interest. Yeah, we're literally playing NBA games right now while the Olympics is going on. So like we just mentioned, we're missing Drew Holiday, Devin Booker, and Chris Middleton because of that. They're still playing the finals right now. Like this is the first year that's probably happened. We've never had this before. And I think honestly, I feel like we should have took a page out of the book from WNBA because WNBA season is always in the summertime.
True.
So we probably could have talked to them and figured out how they handle the situation and resolved it or something. But I feel like they should do better planning for this and just had everything wrapped up before. But I just can't see how this team was like this year's team, this version of this team is really ideal. You feel me? And I'm not saying that because we're losing, but like even beforehand, I was just like, this team isn't. It looked like
it's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's just
not the best. Yeah, it's
because you look at it, we have. I think what they're gearing towards is really more offensive geared teams, and the role players was to pick up on defense. Because you look at it, where Dame strictly offense, even NBA wise. Tatum mainly offense. He can play defense, but he's not really out there locking up like KD can or LeBron can at times.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant just said him. Jeremiah Grant, defensive player. Draymond, defensive player. Book, mainly offense, but he plays some solid defense at times. Drew Holiday, mainly defense. But he can when he doesn't have to lock in on defense like he's doing now in the finals, he can't score the ball.
He can get a bucket.
He can get a bucket. Keldon Johnson, Zach LaVine. I ain't gonna mention Keldon. Because honestly,
Keldon Johnson, hey, if you ever hear this podcast, Keldon Johnson, we love you. All right? No disrespect.
No disrespect, man, but it's just like Olympic basketball, select team, good. We're gonna talk about the select team in a minute too. We gotta get to that because that bothers me too. But Zach LaVine, solid pick, but mainly offensive player. He's not known for his defense. JaVale McGee, come on now, JaVale McGee. I love him, but nah, bro. Then Chris Middleton, mainly offense and can play defense, but he's not really a defensive player per se. Then you got Bam, it's the utility man who can do a little bit of it all. And so it's like the top half of it is really solid offensive guys, and we're not looking at the defensive half as much. And I remember when they talked about the 08 Redeem team, they were picking players who would do the dirty work, do the hustle points and stuff. But then if you look at the actual highlights and stuff of it, you saw D-Wade and Kobe getting after it, diving for loose balls. You saw J. Kidd doing the dirty work and, like getting steals and not scoring. Like he was doing his job, which is basically a role player, but he's J. Kidd. You feel me? Like
we know what he can do.
We know what he can do. So any given night, we can give the balls to any of these players and be like, go off for 30 real quick. All right, cool. Let me get my bag. Boom. And like they can afford to sit here and say, I'm an average. Like, this is probably legit the first time any of these guys look next to him and they was like, yo, this dude can go off for 30 just as easily as I can. This dude can probably lock up this whole team just as well. It's probably the first time they ever had this in their career, in their lives, to where they can look in this locker room and be like, there are about 2 or 3 dudes in here who are just as good as I am on my level.
Right.
And this is a foreign thing to most of those guys. So for LeBron to look around and be like, damn, I'm in the locker room with Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, Kobe Bryant. Like, yo, these dudes are just on my, like, they on my level. You feel me? Like, they just as good as I am. They just as talented as I am. And I don't have to do so much. It's the first time in their career where they don't have to carry a huge burden and for like the win or the losses on me.
Mm.
So like I said before, you got your top tier guys saying, I don't have to do all 5 things. I can just do 3. So now because I can do 2 or 3 things, my energy for these things are a lot higher. So I'm locking you. When I say I'm locking you up, I'm locking you up.
This is my only mission.
This is my only, like you said about Kobe, Jordan and Pippen, when they had to go against Tony Kukoc, because Tony was getting drafted to sign to play with the Bulls.
Mm.
They heard just talking all this stuff about, oh, he's gonna be a next wave, this great new guy. They're like, bet we're gonna send a message to him. And I remember they said, I forgot who, I think Magic said it. They're legit fighting over who was gonna guard Tony to start off the game. Like, no, I'm guarding him, bro. I don't care which, I'm guarding Tony. No, man, I'm guarding him. Of course, Jordan more than likely won that fight because we all know how Jordan is.
All right.
When I tell you, they say they had Tony Kukoc spooked out of his shoes by the end of that game, bro. They never saw anything in the eyes like that after that, bro. Like, that passion they had to destroy this man's confidence was otherworldly. So,
that's such an old way of thinking. That's crazy to me that they was like, man, we finna kill dude. He finna be on their team. Like, why? Like, I get you want to, like, it's one thing to be like, hey, I'm gonna guard him, see what he's talking about.
yeah.
Like, cause I'd have been there, like, hey, let me go guard the new dude, whatever, see what he's talking about. Give him a little taste. I ain't gonna be out here like, no, we finna destroy buddy. Like, what? Like, that's so crazy to me. But I just had to throw that out there. But go ahead.
But it's Jordan too, man. Like, it's not surprising.
That's your teammate.
It's Michael Jeffrey Jordan, bro. Different tier. That's why he's Jordan, bro. Like that insaneness that we think about, that's why he's the GOAT. You feel me? So knowing it's him, it's not too surprising. And Pippen, he probably got egged on. He's like, nah, bro, I wanna guard. I think Pippen was more like, I'm gonna test him and see where he's at. But him being around Jordan like that, he probably said, nah, we're gonna destroy him. Like, I think Pippen got a little bit of arrogance in him too, being around Jordan. I feel like that rubbed off on him too. So, but yeah, they by the end of that game, they had man spooked. Like he did not score for real. Like he was struggling. I remember he came out and said he was like, "Yo, I did not expect this. Like they were playing against me like they hated me, and we're supposed to be teammates."
Exactly.
And so after that game, man, you gotta think about it, bro. Like Jordan probably said, "I don't care if I score this game. I am focused 100% zeroed in on defense and locking Kukoc up. So Jordan probably ended the game with 6 points, with 30 steals and 15 blocks. And
It be some crazy stuff like that.
he was satisfied by the end of that game, just knowing I locked this man up. Pippen had the same thing. Like, yo, I probably scored 4 points and half of was free throws. So offense went under tonight. Charles Barkley probably had 30, and Magic probably had another 20, but all I care about is playing defense. And so you're looking at the top tier guys who can say, man, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about scoring. I'm putting 100% of my energy into, rebounding or to playing defense or to making these hard cuts. Like all this other stuff I didn't have to do on my NBA team. So I'm putting all of my energy into these small things. So now you're getting you're getting the top tier skill and level, all my energy towards this thing. So now when I burn out, you having another guy that's just as good as me coming off the bench, come right behind me and give me the exact same thing. So that's another thing that I feel like we don't have as much now. Like you just said, Keldon Johnson come off the bench and he's struggling. He's replacing Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, and it's like, oh, we getting buckets over here. Keldon Johnson comes in.
Oh my goodness. Keldon Johnson, we love you. Friend of the podcast.
Bro, please come on the pod. We love you, bro. No disrespect. But he has to know in the back of his mind he don't belong. No offense, bro. But I think he knows. I might edit this out. This
I'm gonna edit this out. I know he probably sat in the locker room like, dang, there go Kevin Durant, dang, there go Jason Tatum, dang, there go Brad Beal.
I don't belong here, bro. Like,
hey, but in all seriousness, since we talked like we been on this case, I did get a notification on my phone about 30 minutes ago said USA basketball newcomer Keldon Johnson gets up a huge rejection exhibition versus Spain. So he got a big block if he ain't getting nothing else today. That was live news I just gave y'all. Y'all ain't gonna hear it till the day after, but just know that we love you over here, Keldon, and please bring home the gold for America.
And if you ever hear this, man, hop on the podcast. We want you on here, bro. You can tell us how mad you are when you heard this. I'd rather hear that, to be honest with you, man.
Hey, you come on here, cuss us out for real.
Hey, man, like cuss us out off air because we're trying to keep it clean on this podcast. But
thanks.
Got kids listening and stuff. But that's funny, bro. Like he's a hooper. Like I'm not trying to disrespect this man. He's an NBA player, solid guy. Pretty sure he's a good man off the court too. But basketball-wise, he's not Kevin Durant, bro. Kevin Durant is an all-time GOAT. Yeah. Jason Tatum is creeping up in the discussion of one of the greatest of the generation. He's getting to where he's going to be a great player in our league and, doing his thing in his era. But maybe in a couple years, Keldon will be on that level. But right now, he's not there.
Not even an all-star.
That's tough looking, man. And so kind of transition to that next discussion I want to get into is the select team, where he came from. The USA select team is where, like I said before, in 2008, they kind of rebooted the system and put it to where they had more of a solidified organization going through and had a pipeline. So the top tier guys are the Olympic teams, and then you have the next generation, next wave coming up is the select team. So just an idea of what people understand what I'm talking about. When you think about that famous clip of Kyrie crossing up the whole USA basketball team, would start off with Kobe. Then I think it had to be 2012. He crossed up Kobe first, and he got past KD next, I think, and he got past somebody else. Kobe came back in the picture, did something, move against him. Saw James Harden last. Like that, Kyrie was on the select team to go against the Olympic team. And so you look at the guys like Keldon Johnson who got pulled up, everybody from Anthony Edwards to the rest of those guys that are down there, like Darius Garland, they're on that select team. And basically, for times like this, when you have injuries or whatever happens, we can pull a guy up before we, actually leave and go to the actual Olympics. And so I'm a little disappointed in the select team too, because think about the next tier and next group of guys who are the next, up and coming guys in the NBA league. You think about Trae Young, John Morant. Name we didn't mention before we talked about was Donovan Mitchell. He just came to mind.
Donovan Mitchell should be on the real team.
Exactly. So when you start looking at this roster of guys that are on the real team, I don't say real team, but the official Olympic team and a select team, Zion Wilson, like we have a lot of guys who are great players. Cam Reddish should be a select team. Like it's a lot of guys missing that you look at the NBA and it's like, man, these guys are the next wave, the next guys up. And for whatever reason, I don't know why the Olympic Committee decided, Jerry Colangelo and Pop decided to not call these guys phones and have on this team, but they weren't selected.
Like, man, and that's really crazy. Like, how don't you have the Rookie of the Year and Rookie of the Year runner-up on the team list? And, like, I get LaMelo had kind of just came back from injury, so they may have had something to do with it, but he played like the last few games of their season, so he's somewhat healthy, and it's been some time since then. So you telling me we're not taking Rookie of the Year LaMelo Ball for the select team, not even the A team, the B team now. Yeah. We ain't talking about varsity, we talking about JV. We ain't taking Rookie of the Year LaMelo Ball. We ain't taking Rookie of the Year runner-up Anthony Edwards. No, Anthony Edwards is on the team. I'm sorry. Anthony Edwards is on the team. So we got Anthony Edwards. We're not taking Trae Young. We're not taking John Morant. We're not taking Zion Williamson. We're not taking Tyrese Maxey, who was also in the running for Rookie of the Year. Like, what are we doing? That's a starting lineup I just gave you. Like, what are we doing? Who is making the decisions? And then for those who may not, be following certain guys on social media, when Trae Young didn't get selected for the Olympic team, as we mentioned. So recently it came out that Bradley Beal and Kevin Love wouldn't be participating due to COVID protocols. Well, I think Bradley Beal wouldn't be participating because of COVID protocol, and Kevin Love. Keep in mind now, Keldon Johnson was on the select team, so it was nothing for them to call him up. JaVale McGee was not. That means they called JaVale at home, like, hey, can you come replace Kevin Love? So after that, Trae Young puts on Twitter the famous, most beloved clip from the Michael Jordan Last Dance documentary of Isaiah Thomas talking about not being selected for the 92 Dream Team, for the Olympic team. Well, I say we just put the clip here right here. Put the clip here right here.
I don't know what went into that process. I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
So he posted that, but right after they announced that JaVale and Keldon was going.
Mm-hmm.
So he obviously feel disrespected, same way Isaiah Thomas did.
Yep.
And I'm right there with him. Because why are we not calling Trae Young? Why are we not calling? And John Morant also posted on Twitter and said, wasn't hitting me up before, don't hit me up now. So he didn't, tag the USA Olympic team or nothing like that, or, actually, put a name to anything. But he just made that post around the time that happened. We assumed that's what he was talking about, but this is all conjecture at this time. But them two, if we just, we can all assume they feel disrespected by these decisions. So, and I feel them because like Jordan got his team to the playoffs. Without him, that team a lottery pick. Trae got his team to the Eastern Conference Finals, and even stole a game off Milwaukee, stole 2 games off Milwaukee. And they probably finna win the NBA championship. So they done took 2 games off Milwaukee. Possibly could have beat them if Trae never got hurt, but Giannis did get hurt. But if Trae doesn't also get hurt in that time frame, who knows what could have happened? Mm-hmm. So how are we not calling them? And they strike me as guys, like obviously I don't know them personally, but they strike me as guys who would like to play. They like John loved the hoop, Trae loved the hoop. Like, why are we not calling them? Well, who is making these decisions?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I know Jerry Colangelo is up there, but I'm not sure if he's like the Dunn daughter. He's like the final, the boss level of decision maker. So I don't know. I don't know if it's Pop. I don't know if it's him. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like this year we're not getting our best foot forward on either level, the A team or B team, because this isn't what we used to, man. And I'm not trying to like be one of them Americans that just the spoiled mindset of like it should be given to us. We still got to put in work for it, obviously, but at the same time, it's like we're not seeing our top tier guys on either level really like being represented us. So I just feel like they didn't do their due diligence as much this year, man. Especially if you're not even giving my guy a phone call. Like I understand if they saying no, especially like the A team. We're not Steph Curry automatically said no, LeBron said no, Such said no. I can understand that. But not even giving Trae Young a phone call, not giving LaMelo a phone call, Ja a phone call, Zion a phone call. The B team, that's disrespectful. Like I don't get that. So that bothers me. That bothers
Bothers me too.
So I don't know what they're doing with that. I have to do a little more research into it to really understand. Maybe something they came out with that I didn't hear about. If y'all know, comment below and let us know. But tag us in it, hit us up, DM, whatever. Even email, bro. I don't care how you get it to us. If you
Please
found out
let
something,
me know.
let me know. Because I don't understand why these guys aren't being picked. I can understand injury. I can understand if they got the phone call and said no, but not even give them a phone call is just beyond respect to me. So we'll see, man. Like I said before, the USA game is going on against Spain right now. Last score I saw, we were up a few points, things like 59-52. So hopefully we can pull this game out. And as a American, I do want to win gold. You know, I don't like losing, obviously. So hope we can pull this off, though. You know, everything I said about Keldon, KJ, ball out, bro. If you make the team, for sure, ball out, bro. I want you to come back and represent us well and win gold, man. For JaVale McGee, love you too, bro. If you hear this, you know, we ain't disrespecting you, but, you know.
Hey, you still got 3 rings. Can't take that away from you.
You got 3 more than me, bro. We got all together, between me, you, and him, we all got 3 rings combined, bro. So we can do something, man. So
you just keep that up, my boy.
Hey, man, you a baller, bro. So that's all I got, man. You got anything else you want to add and say to it?
Pop call Trey. That's all I got to say. Call Trey expeditiously. Especially if we lose to Australia. I mean, not Australia. We said we playing Australia or Spain?
Spain.
Playing Spain. Yeah, call Trey. Especially if we lose. And apologize.
Yeah. First, spend some money on some flowers to apologize to him. A big teddy bear, some chocolates, give him something. Call Trey, call Zion, Donovan Mitchell up. Ja. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give a list of guys. We're just gonna tag them and like call these guys. I'll make this part a post right here, and I'm gonna tag the guys they need to call, and because we can't afford to not win gold. You feel me? I ain't trying to have no redeem team part 2 in 3 years.
2025.
Yeah. I'm not trying to have that, bro. So let's go ahead and take care of business, man. Get our guys out there. Like I said before, I understand this year because of COVID and everything. I understand the shortened season, so or the expanded season, however you want to see it. But I feel like, man, this is a year that we got. I don't know if we took it for granted or what, but we just didn't put our best foot forward on A or B team. So if we lose this year, honestly, man, I will not be surprised, bro.
Yeah,
I would.
Just get us a medal, man. If they get us bronze, silver, I'll be all right. But like, don't just not place. Please don't not.
Oh, if we don't place, that's disrespectful. I don't think we have not placed in years. Like even before the Dream Team, I don't know if we have not placed in years. Because I know the worst we did was that 04 team when they won bronze. I think USA, like the little World Cups, I think they probably didn't place a couple years before that. But as far as the Olympic team, like the top dog every 4 years, them joints, bro, we place. We gold or we gold. Like ain't no silver, bro. So
man, if they don't place, man, I'd be so sad. Like that'll be embarrassing to like our country to not place in basketball in a country that in a sport that we created.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like basketball is our sport. you know, I feel like that's probably why football's not on there. Well, our football and not their football that we call soccer. They killing us over there, I'm pretty sure. Our men, we ain't the best over there, but we better. But,
Hey, let me ask you this. Can you name 3 American soccer players? That's your answer. Hey, I know Lionel Messi. I know Ronaldo. I know Neymar. You know, I can name you some foreign players. America.
That's the only 3 I know, bro. That's Neymar, Messi, and Ronaldo, but that's all I know.
I can't name one from our whole country, though.
I know a couple years ago we had a dude named Donovan, like Landon Donovan, I think, and somebody named Tim. But
somebody named Tim.
That's the best I got, bro.
Somebody named Tim was out there. I don't know what else, but he was out there. I remember.
One Tim Duncan, bro. That's all I can tell you,
man. Should have been.
Hey, we might have got a little something out there, man. He
Tim
plays
a winner.
I think he used to play back in the day.
I think so too.
In the Virgin Islands. That's it, man. We just being stupid now. So it's 60-50 right now as we wrap up this podcast. So
who's up?
We are.
All right, good.
Yeah. So let's go home. Let's not go home. Let's come back home with the gold, guys. And,
let's go home.
Bro, I kill these closes every time, man. This is funny at this point. Oh, that's funny. So, I'm not gonna close. You close, bro. I always mess up.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in to another installment of the BeBall Jones podcast with Nelson Haskin. I'm Nelson Haskin with the man BeBall Jones, and y'all make sure y'all follow us on all social media. BeBall Jones for my guy on everything. BeBall Jones on everything. Follow me on Twitter at NellyH34. Find me on Facebook. I love having conversations on there. You especially want to be there when the Bucks win the championship in a couple days. I will be on my Shannon Sharp. So, y'all give us a follow or add us or whatever y'all do. And make sure y'all tune in next week for another one. And we'll see y'all next time. We out.
That's how you close a podcast. That's a good one. I'm gonna take notes.
Hey, you got the openers though. The openers be good, but I can close. I can do that.
Oh man, that's funny. So all right, man. We done. We'll see y'all next week.